All right, so we are going to start looking at actually adding and subtracting these fractions. We were looking at finding the common denominator in our last section, but now we're actually going to be putting them together. So what we need to do is do just like we were doing in our last section and find that common denominator so that these two on the bottom are going to match. So we're going to start by rewriting it as the prime factors. So just changing the numbers to their prime factors. Okay, so just rewriting them. And now we need these to match. So what do we need on the left that this one has over here? We need a 7. Okay, so that means we multiply the top also by a 7. And then what else do we need on this side? We need 2 more a's. Okay, so we got a squared. Okay, so on this one, what do we need? We need a 3. And what else? And a b. All right, so now let's just rewrite this as put together. So on the top, we now have 35a squared. And on the bottom, we've got 42a cubed b. And then over here, we've got 9b cubed, 42a cubed b. So now we have a common denominator. Now when we add fractions, remember, once we have that common denominator, we put them together, the common denominator just stays the same. So we've still got 42a cubed b, and now we're just adding the top. So are these two top terms, are they like terms? Can we combine them? No. Okay, so we're just going to keep them separate. And that's your answer. Okay, so looking over here, we're going to do that same thing. So rewrite them as the prime factors. So 12 is 223, and this one is 233. And now we want them to look the same. So this one on the left has 2 2's and a 3, but this one over here has 2 3's. So we're going to need to give this one a 3. And it looks like it's missing some b's. And the one on the right is missing what? Just a 2. Okay, now the denominators have all the same numbers and letters, and we can rewrite them. So on the top here, we've got 21, b to the 4th. And then the common denominator here is 36ab cubed. 36ab cubed. Okay, now the two terms on the top, they can't be put together. So we're just going to keep them separate. And there's our answer. Questions on that? Got a couple more to try. So these next ones are going to involve us factoring, not just writing what the prime factors are. So we can practice seeing what these look like. So again, we're just going to factor what's on the bottom. So right here, if we draw our x, we've got -6, oops, not negative x, -1. What are our two numbers? -3, +2, okay? So we've got x minus 1 on the top. On the bottom, we just figured out it's x minus 3, x plus 2. What are we going to do on this one? take out a 5. So we've got 5 and then x plus 2. All right, so now we need them to match. The one on the left is missing what? A 5. And what do we need over here? X minus 3. Okay, so if we rewrite this, make sure that when you do these numerators up here that you're distributing all the way through. So we've got 5x minus 5. You can keep these factored. You don't have to put these together. All right, so we've got a common denominator. It's the same on both. Now, when we put these together, this obviously will stay the same. But when we're putting the top together, we do have like terms on this one, right? Unlike the other ones. We're subtracting this entire numerator. Okay, so you have to make sure you subtract everything over there, which is going to change the signs on everything over there. So we really have 5x minus 4x, which is x. And then we have negative 5 minus negative 12. So what's that? Negative 5 minus negative 12 would be 7. Negative 5 minus negative 12. Okay, so you have to make sure that you subtract everything in that second fraction if there's a minus sign in the middle. Questions there? That's going to be your answer. Okay, last page. All right. We factor here, we factor here. What's our top number? Negative 12, we take 2 times negative 6. We got 11 here. What two numbers work? 12 and negative 1. We have to do the window on this one. So 12 and negative 1 go in these two with the variable attached. The original problem up here is going to go along the diagonal in this box here. So we've got 2x squared, 11x minus 6. And now we take out what we can. So what's in common with these two? What's in common here? Here. And here. Negative 1. Okay. We'll get that written down in a second. So over here we've got negative 18 and 3. All right, so let's rewrite these in the factored form. So on the left here, we've got 6 on top, and then written in green right here, we've got x plus 6, 2x minus 1, minus, and then over here it's 8 on the top, x plus 6, x minus 3. Now I need them to look the same. So we're missing a couple of quantities. We're missing something here, missing something here. So what's on the left that we need here? And what's missing on the right? Okay, so the denominator, again, we don't have to window all of that and put them together. We can just keep that in the factored form. But on the top, I'm going to distribute. Now, again, the tricky thing about subtracting with fractions is making sure that you subtract everything on that second fraction. So, on the bottom, we've got that. What is our numerator going to be? How many x's do we have? Negative 10. Then what? Minus 10. Okay, because if we have negative 18 minus negative 8, that's really negative 18 plus 8, which is negative 10. Questions there?